Knife attacks on teenagers up by 93% in 5 years, figures show UK News The Guardian. Figures paint bleak picture as loved ones of latest victims in East London and Manchester mourn. Figures paint bleak picture as loved ones of latest victims in East London and Manchester mourn. 2 families were left reeling by the loss of their teenage children over the weekend in stabbing attacks, as new figures showed a 93% increase in the number of young people targeted by knives. Police said Jodie Chesney, 17, a dedicated scout, inflicted by a suspected teenage attacker who struck without saying a word as she sat in a park socializing with friends. Jodie died on Friday evening at around 9:25 p.m. in St. Neots Road in Harold Hill, Romford. She died 1 hour. Meanwhile, in the affluent area of Hale Barns near Altrincham, police named a teenager murdered on Saturday evening as 17, from Benage in Manchester, a pupil at Manchester Grammar School. 2 boys aged 17 remain in custody after being arrested on suspicion of murder. The murder is not. Det Superintendent Phil Reid said Youssef's family has understandably been left devastated by his death, and the thoughts of the entire investigation team remain with them at this difficult time. We are particularly keen to speak to anyone who was walking or driving in the vicinity of Gorse Bank Road or Sunbank Lane at around 6:30 p.m. These people may not. The Home Secretary, Sajid Javid, will this week chair a scheduled meeting of police chiefs to discuss knife crime. In a statement, "We're taking action on many fronts and will be meeting police chiefs this week to hear what more can be done." And has been set up to help Mackie's family with funeral expenses. Tributes mention the murdered teenager's generosity. One said you were in London. The Metropolitan Police on Sunday said Jodie Chesney was with 5 friends in the park, listening to music and socializing when attacked. Witnesses can remember. Police said around 30 minutes later, the pair returned to the park and walked straight towards the group, where one of the males stabbed Jodie once in the back. Nothing was said by the 2 suspects, who ran off in the direction of Retford Road. The suspect who attacked Jodie is described as a black male aged in his late teens. There is no further. Her boyfriend reportedly cradled Jodie after the attack. DCI Dave Wellams, who is leading the murder hunt, urged witnesses to contact the police. Although the description of the suspect is limited, "I am certain that people will have seen the 2 males hanging around the park or running away from the scene or will otherwise have noticed something suspicious. I need those people." On Sunday, Jodie's uncle, Dave Chesney, paid tribute and urged witnesses to come forward. This was a totally random and unprovoked attack on a beautiful, lovely and quirky young girl with her whole life in front of her. Jodie had visited Downing Street while a scout and taken part in a televised remembrance commemoration in November last year. An episode of Channel 4's Dispatches, to be broadcast at 8 p.m. on Monday, claims that committed by those under 18 years of age rose by 77% from 2016-2018. The program, presented by the former Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police, Lord Ho Gon Howe, will say that murder and manslaughter where the attacker was aged 18 or under used a knife rose by 77% in the last 2 years, from 26 to 46 incidents. Rape and sexual offenses where a knife was used by someone aged 18 or under rose by 38% to a total of 46, and robbery offenses where a knife was used rose by over 50%, to 999 crimes. Data from the NHS shows in the last 5 years the number of children aged 16 and under being treated for assault by a knife or other sharp objects rose by 93%. From 180 admissions in 2012/13 to 347 in 2017/18. Ho Gon Howe called for tougher action against the growing drugs market and for the government to that mean officer numbers are 20,000 fewer than when the Conservatives took power in 2010. Ho Gon Howe said it's important to focus attention on the exploitation of children in socially deprived areas. We need to increase. It is vital that we unite to stop this senseless violence.
Raindrops, drop top, top smoke. Looking up, open the park, pot.